All right, so we have a gentleman, and everybody knows this gentleman, of course, Kevin Hosford, known as HarvestGawd, and this man is here to promote a Lambeau Day, right down our neighbors, really. Mr. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Blessed morning to you and all your loyal listeners. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Your brand is all over the world. Everybody wants to know this man with this straw hat,
which is definitely a good thing. I mean, that means Tobago is all over the world. Yes, I mean, definitely. I mean, a positive way.
Yes, indeed. But here's the point. And so, you know, we talk about influencers, right? But you are positive influence. I never heard you use obscene language. I never heard you, you try to diminish your brand. But you're always smiling and you're always promoting Tobago, particularly harvest event. And for that, let me congratulate you and encourage you. Right?
Thank you. And I think the space really needed something like that because in so many ways, social media tends to highlight and glorify the negativity in society. Exactly. I think this kind of stuff was really needed.
But just for persons who are not aware, I mean, the brand is clearly a big brand, but for the persons who seen it for the first time, just a quick background on how you started. And I mean, as recently I saw you at Roxborough. Was it Roxborough?
Yeah, Roxborough last Sunday.
Yeah, and I pay attention to the live. I click on and say, wait, I can make it.
Which is understandable.
But you were able to provide that coverage
and bring it to you
for the ordinary man who is not able to make this special cultural tradition in Tobago. But you continue to do that. So let's give us a background in terms of how you started and what exactly HarvestGawd does.
Well, basically, to give you a quick synopsis, I basically started going to Harvest, all Harvest, videotaping it and just posting it on my WhatsApp stories. And a lot of people was like, hey, you need to have a social media platform and really market it in a bigger way. And Foodie Nation tops up to you guys all the time. They were the ones that really convinced me to finally make that step, that leap to open some social media pages and start pushing it there so that not just we in Tobago here or my WhatsApp fans could be following it, but the world by extension could be fully aware of exactly what the real organic Tobago love that we have here, what it is like. And that is mainly through harvest. So what I mainly do is go to all the harvests and document it and showcase it on all my social media handles.
Right, and you're showcasing all the harvests, but you just actually cook as well.
Well, that you said I started following him when he was doing this Fireside Sunday. And that is where I started to pay attention to him, not necessarily the harvesting, because I know that. But just speak to that cooking aspect that you used to do, that you don't do anymore.
Well, again, and I like how you asked that question. For me, I must say thumbs up, Mommy. Yvonne Ostrad, big up yourself, Mommy. I've done a wonderful job in making sure all of us could handle ourselves in the kitchen. Right. So no woman can style it. Yeah. Right. But you see, the thing is, that whole Fireside experience, what that meaning was like, it was an avenue, was a program to really showcase Tobago's culinary heritage. So if you would notice, majority of the delicacies that I would have prepared was organically prepared on the fireside and was Tobago-centric meals. Crab and dumpling, smoked fish and dumpling, that kind of thing. And one thing that the average individual doesn't know is I used to do that literally out of pocket. Because I genuinely believed in what I was doing. I believed in the quality. I believed in the island. I must say thumbs up to Berylink. Berylink Cellular would have sponsored a couple episodes. But other than that, it's out of pocket. I was doing everything. At that time, I had no sponsors whatsoever. And it reached a point where I just couldn't afford it anymore, personally. Because I was putting so much into it, and it really reached a point where I just had to stop. And that's the reason why I discontinued the Fireside Sundays. Because at the end of the day, as you would notice, the locations that I was showcasing and cooking on, it's not like if you could try to sell food there. You can't try to sell food on this. Because beaches are really different tourism location that I really promoting. And it was not about selling food or anything like that. So it's not like if when you don't cook all that food, you could try to sell it there. And sometimes you spend $1,200, $1,500 on a menu. On ingredients. And then just to give it away to whoever there. Well,
I mean, we would HarvestGawd, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you would go from village to village, doing your stuff, promoting the culture, sticking within the culinary part of the tourism. But now you're back home, literally, in Lambeau to put on this Lambeau Day event. Tell us what this event is about.
Well, you see, again, too, for me, it don't matter what part of the world I go, Lambeau is always home. You know, I'm always there, I'm always in the community. And I remember 30 years ago, the first time I went to Tobago Day. And while I was there, a guy, numerous people came and having conversations with me. And a guy came and chat. He was like, hey, I hear you're from Lambeau, you know, who's your parents? That's what he's from Oxford. And he was like, he living in America 40-something years now. And he have never returned home since that. And he was like, you know, I realize Lambeau have plenty crime. And I was like, in all fairness, with development, anywhere in the world, it comes with a little increase of negativity, which is understandable. I was like, hey, but other than that, Lambeau have plenty things going for us. I say one of the most capped national player, Kian Daniel, from Lambeau. Is either 3 or 4-time Olympian, Simon Yakit, from Lambeau. I say, well, in your days, Lambeau United and Lambeau New Edition was the biggest football team in that era. I say, right now, we have Curtis Moses doing something real good, bringing back the football in Lambeau in a big way with Lambeau FC. It's Trisha and Simon Yakit, the Lambeau Alliance. I say, with all the celebrities that come to Tobago, the chef that cooks for them, the celebrity chef Arthur Patrick, I say, we are doctors, we are lawyers, and we have a chat for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And when he left, I sit down and scratching my head. I said, Bob, you leave Tobago and come to New York for Tobago Day. It have Point 14 Day, it has Sour Day. I'm not discrediting anybody, but there's a community in Trinidad where, because of a few bad apples, you have plenty good people come from that community. I'm not going to call a name. But because of a few bad apples from the community, every time you hear the name of that community, you think of violence and crime, which is wrong. But they have a day in New York where they celebrate, which I fully support. I said, boy, Lambeau has so much things that we can celebrate. We need to have a Lambeau Day. Okay, right. We need to. I was to do this project since in 2023. You know, it didn't materialize. 2024 was one of the worst years of my life. You know, so it did happen 2024. And I say 2025 for sure. So from since January when I posted my HarvestGawd calendar of events and all the harvest, I would have put it in that calendar. Lambeau Day, the 14th of June, which is the day before harvest. So, it's a good reason for everybody from Lambeau to come home. Don't care where you're from.
So let's talk about what this day is. Obviously, the following day would be Lambeau Harvest.
Lambeau Harvest.
Sunday coming is Lambeau Harvest.
Yes.
So tomorrow, Saturday, what is Tobago, what is Lambeau Day all about? Where is the event particularly? Is it at Petit Chute? Talk to us about Lambeau Day.
It's actually located by the Lambeau facility, which is behind the community center in Sobo. That's the side of the village that is closer to where them guys are selfish. Right? It includes track and field, lots of novelty events, egg and spoon, tag of war, flat races. Of course, we are Lambeau FC on show, like the football side of all different ages, under 7, under 9, on that side. We have about, I think it's either 3 or 4 other clubs coming in. We have a mini football competition. Also, we have the Lambeau Alliance group, which is a track and field group. That would be there. You have a lot of track and field events. There's a lot. We have, as I would have mentioned before, you have doctors, you have lawyers within the community. So we have some nurses from the community also that would be there offering blood pressure testing, sugar testing. You know, there's lots. There's skate guys that would be there doing, roller skates is the new thing in Tobago. So they would be there doing roller skates for free. If you have your skates like a field to bring it, feel free to come with it. If not, skates will be there provided for you guys. Okay. Technique talents, there are people from China. There's so much.
So this is the start. Is it? There are many activities that happen in Lambeau. But is this the first of this event that is now Lambeau Day, so to speak?
Yes, this is the first one, and it's definitely going to be an annual event.
Okay, excellent. Yes. Some of your sponsors.
There are so much. There are so much technique talents all the way from Trinidad. Angostura, Amplia, NP, Aya Moses in Lambeau, Karen Moses and his dad. Ron Stewart, I mean, Almando, there's so much that it's hard for me to remember all.
Okay.
And again, I want to say thanks to all the sponsors. I mean, you guys are really the ones that are really making this possible.
Yeah. And of course, you're inviting persons. I know normally you would do your coverage when you're doing your HarvestGawd thing,
of
going
course.
to different villages, but the coverage is also, how you're going to manage that with you organizing as well?
Well, I have a team.
Right.
You know, a team that will be there ensuring that the people that can't physically make it would have the luxury of being able to sit in the offices, sit at home, in wherever they are, and view what is happening. It may not be for the whole day, though, but you know, or probably Tobago Channel 5 want to send a team to carry a live down there. That would be lovely.
You come good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a good initiative, and as before you went into the details, you gave the scenario of this person who's from Lambeau but living out there, can come home and their view, and now you're taking the opportunity to celebrate the village where you're from. And how important is that when you look at the grand scheme of things in terms of celebrating? And we were talking about fathers just earlier on, and we continue to talk about fathers, but having these events and these opportunities to celebrate is of utmost importance. What's your take?
Well, you see, I couldn't agree with you more. And this is one thing that I always say, and it stood out to me the most, that one thing he mentioned, he didn't mention the positiveness that he would have seen or heard from the community. One thing that stood out the most to him was that the amount of crime that the village have. But I think that there's so much positiveness that is there. And I think I saw it as a need that I need to highlight this to the world. Because there's a lot. But most of the time, negativity sells. Negativity overshadows positivity most of the time.
Do the youths, and I remember sweating in Lambeau. Lambeau was a proper sweater.
Proper, and it never died.
Yeah, and big up Moses as well, and all the others who in the space there. But do you get bombarded with young fellas coming to you and asking you for that kind of guidance and support? Because you are a success story.
Yes, definitely.
In your own light.
Yes,
but what type of concerns was, I mean, you can't speak to all, but what are some of the issues or are the issues that these youth men and young people will come to you and ask for assistance with?
Plenty of it is jobs. You know, opportunities. Plenty of it is not having much activities to do within the communities. And for me, that's something that bothers me a lot. You know, I honestly believe that we as a people, as a society, we could do more and not just rely on politicians or the government to do this or that. I believe we could come together and keep some football competitions, keep have engaging stuff in a positive way to do in the community.
Yeah.
Especially we as the one that the youths look up to. You know, we could use our influence and try and guide the youths and nurture the youths in a positive light.
All right.
You know, I remember I've done a video recently where I spoke to a guy in Crouch in Goodwood, where the whole aim of that video was to really target the youths directly from a guy that once was living a life of crime and he's no longer in that light, to guide them and show them the way that, hey, this is not the way to go.
All right.
You know, stay away from gangs, stay away from trouble. You know, take positivity is key. You know, for me, that is one thing I'm passionate about.
Excellent. All right. Well, okay. So tomorrow's event, starting what time?
9 to 6. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, entire day. And then following that, Sunday, HarvestGawd, you're going to cook. People are going to come by you, know, because you're going by everybody. Harvest is like so tell me that you're keeping your harvest by you. Where to find you? Like, I want to come and eat you out, you know. Yeah.
This man going. You see, the thing is, everybody would know that I'm living Shaven Road now, and my harvest is Easter Tuesday. Remember in the right, Easter Tuesday. So my harvest would have gone.
You're ducking out. You're going to your partner, man.
I can assure you. Yeah. I'll promise you, next year, 2036, Lambeau harvest gone. So it would be Easter Tuesday and next year harvest.
Excellent.
Next year, Lambeau harvest.
All right, good.
So it will be Lambeau Day this Saturday and by HarvestGawd this Sunday.
All right, right. All right, we want to thank you for being here and all the best tomorrow. You know, people make your way to Lambeau and be part of the experience there, all right? Again, pleasure having you, my brother.
Always a pleasure to be here.